After receiving playoff hype last season, South Carolina had a very disappointing season, going 4-8 at the end of last season. This season, Lenora Sellers is back. Shane Beamer is back. There is new talent around. But will this be another disappointing season for South Carolina? Will Shane Beamer be fired? Find out our thoughts next on this video from the Fanatics Show. Shane Beamer's, is this his fifth year? Fifth year at Carolina?
Don't know, don't care. He's been there too long.
Yeah, he has. This is going to be his last year at Carolina.
Is it his fifth year? Him and Drink were the same year, weren't they?
Was it him and Drink or was it him and Hype?
I think it's him and Drink.
Because I know Drink had 1 year over Heupel. And I can't remember if Beamer
I really think Beamer and Drink were hired at the same time.
You could be right, but
the cheaters. I mean, yes, dude. That's what I'm talking about. We should bring out the orange helmets.
Listen. I'm not going to call South Carolina cheaters.
Oh, but we should.
They just took what Michigan gave them. Michigan's the real cheaters. They just took it.
I'm sorry, but if I buy the answers to the test, I'm still cheating.
Fair enough.
I'm just saying. But it's fine. I understand what you're saying. And there's more allegations that came out on that, so that's kind of weird. No, all right, cool. So South Carolina, what do we think about the schedule real quick? I'm seeing right off the bat they've got Alabama, Tennessee, Oklahoma, A&M, and Georgia, and Clemson. Clemson may be a tougher game, but like they have quite a bit of tough games here.
Yeah, I mean this.
I wouldn't say the hardest
right
schedule.
here. No, not the hardest, but I mean this right here screams to me just absolute not able to succeed. That's what it screams at me, is that Shane Beamer is not going to be able to succeed this year, even though they have got on paper one of the best quarterbacks in the Southeastern Conference in Lenora Sellers. But they also had him last year, and everything else around him just fell apart. He was all that they had last year.
Yeah.
So
I freaking love one of my picks on South Carolina. And I can go ahead and give it away because it's one that I've already done. But that Arkansas spot is scary. Holy trap game, dude. In between Texas A&M and Georgia, and you're on the road at Arkansas, get out of here. That's just nasty.
I mean, let's
trap game.
Let's expand it just a little bit. At Oklahoma first.
Yeah.
Then
Tennessee,
you get Texas A&M at home.
Yeah.
Then you get Texas A&M at home, but then you follow that Arkansas game with Georgia, and then your rivalry game at Clemson. What a spot for that game!
But that's what South Carolina is going to look at and be like, "Wow, Arkansas finally an easier game, an easier game." And I just don't know with that mentality if that's actually going to be an easier game. I know for a fact that coaching staff better not think that it's an easier game. It's year one for that coach, and every single game is going to be the hardest game. Like that's got to have, you got to be there. That's why the SEC is tough, man. But yeah, when I'm looking at, I'm like, yeah, I do have Arkansas beating South Carolina, and I'm kind of glad I do. That is Arkansas's best chance to pick up a win.
Yeah,
1,000%.
Yep.
If they want to win in the SEC, they better win that game. So, who would like to go first?
I'll go first this week. I know you went first on Arkansas last week. Starting off the season, they got two pretty easy games: Kent State and Towson, both at home.
You sure
both
about
of those will be wins for South Carolina, although it could be closer than what people might like some of those previous opponents have been for South Carolina in that spot. Mississippi State.
This is the biggest swing game for South Carolina, I think, in the season, like without a doubt.
You want to know a hot take that is kind of going to give away the rest of my prediction for South Carolina?
They lose Mississippi State, and then Beamer gets fired after this game.
Well, what I was going to say is this is their best chance for a win this season.
Oh,
this Mississippi State game. This is their biggest chance for an SEC win.
I'm going to disagree because I genuinely think it's Kentucky, but yeah, that's fine.
I'll give you my argument for that.
All All right.
I
Mississippi
am
State's a tough team, though.
I am going to say that they beat Mississippi State because I think you have to win this game. If you're South Carolina, you have to win this game.
Okay.
So you start off the season 3-0, you're feeling good about yourself, and then you go to Tuscaloosa. And Alabama is just going to absolutely knock South Carolina around.
South Carolina historically plays Alabama pretty well.
They do. But
it's kind of like the Kentucky to Georgia game, which is weird to me, but like Kentucky always finds a way against Georgia to just be close. South Carolina is kind of that way with Alabama.
Yeah, I just feel like this season is going to be a blowout against Alabama. So I've got them losing there. Here's why I say Kentucky is not the best chance
that
for
bounce
a win
back.
there.
That bounce back
Because of that bounce back game against
and Kentucky is trash.
Yes, because of that bounce back game right there after Alabama. And then you're looking ahead to Florida the week after, who you're thinking, okay, that'd be a good chance to go on the road and get an SEC win. I think they overlook Kentucky in this spot here, which is what's going to cause them to lose this game.
That is not the direction I thought you were going there. All right, cool. Awesome. Okay, well, then they got to focus up for Florida, right? At Florida on the road?
Florida at Florida. I think that Carolina and Florida are going to be kind of in similar boats this year as far as how their season is going to go.
It's almost like we're picking them both tonight.
Yeah, I know. I wonder why that is.
It's almost like we think they're going to finish right there together.
Yeah, so Florida, I think Florida's got a much easier road before they play South Carolina than South Carolina does before facing Florida. But this to me is a toss-up. And I think it ultimately comes down to home field advantage in this case. So I'm giving the game to Florida. Tennessee coming off a bye week.
I don't like this for Tennessee. If you got 3 losses in a row, for some reason, I just get scared that they're going to figure it out.
It's scary. It's scary for Tennessee, especially after the last time that they went to Columbia and played them. I believe the only saving grace for Tennessee in this one, this is going to be an afternoon game. It's not a night game. So I think that's going to help.
Would Beamer be fired at this point?
I think he would be.
I mean, if you lost to Kentucky and Florida back-to-back, 2 teams that you're definitely perceived as better than right now, I don't see how he still has his job. This is a year that they're supposed to, like, make a push, right?
Here's what I will say. If they were to lose to Mississippi State in week 3, I think it's 100% bye week at this point in the season. He is gone. But if they do win that Mississippi State game, I think it's still questionable. But now let's see how the rest of the season goes according to me. Tennessee.
They do get the bye week before Tennessee, too.
They do. Tennessee's going to be a loss. At Oklahoma. I do think this could be a closer game. I'm still not high on Oklahoma with their offense, even though they are returning John Mateer. But it's going to be a loss. Texas A&M at home. I think Texas A&M is actually going to show up and play ball for 4 quarters in this game, unlike last year. A loss to Texas A&M. This is where we come up on Arkansas. And we already mentioned it earlier. The spot for this game right here for Arkansas could not be better for the Razorbacks. It's a terrible spot for South Carolina. And both of us last week had Arkansas winning this game.
That means you gotta follow it. Let's go.
I'm not gonna change
Beamer
it.
is gone.
Wins the game.
It is gone. He starts out 3-0 and finishes 3-9. Come on.
Yeah.
No,
and
I'm
then
joking.
Georgia
crazy.
and Clemson to finish off the season.
Yo, what a prediction, dude. No shot. You actually had them losing 9 straight. That's insane. But they still got the one SEC win, Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we should have done South Carolina first with Arkansas. That's crazy.
So 3-9 is going to be my prediction.
What's your best and worst case scenario? Because I do feel like South Carolina is a slight wild card team as far as like the range of their best case and their worst case is one of the wider ranges in the SEC.
Worst case scenario for South Carolina, they don't win a game after Towson. They go 2-10 on the season. Best case for South Carolina, if Lenora Sellers returns to form from 2 seasons ago when they won 9 games, if he has the skill players around him, if he has a defense on the other side of the ball, I think South Carolina could have a good year. Like you said, this could be a wide range for the floor and the ceiling. I think guaranteed losses on this schedule for South Carolina is going to be at Alabama. I'm going to say Georgia at home, and then I'll also say Texas A&M at home are guaranteed losses. We've seen them play with Clemson, regardless of how good both of the teams are. So I mean that's a rivalry game, so that's a toss-up. I'm going to say 9-3 is the ceiling for South Carolina, but once again, that's everything has to go right for South Carolina this year. So that's a very, very wide range for the floor and the ceiling. But I could see South Carolina being a good team. I'm just not predicting it.
Fair enough. What a prediction. 3-9, starting 3-0, and then finishing 0-9. Wow. I like it. I dig it.
I've got a feeling that we're not going to have the same predictions on that.
No. This one's going to be a little different, but that's okay. That's why we do it. Kent State, I will go ahead and say the first two are definitely dubs. They need to be. But I actually do have South Carolina losing the opening game of the season to Mississippi State. I think Mississippi State's a hard game to win. And, Mississippi State last year started 4-0.
Yeah.
And then took Tennessee in the fifth game of the year to start out 5-0. They took Tennessee to overtime and lost in a thriller.
And look, I like Mississippi State. I just feel like this is more of a spot thing for me, that if South Carolina is going to get a win, it's got to be in that spot.
I understand. So, but I'm going to, we're going to keep going because I do think they lose to Alabama right after that. And then they play Kentucky. I do have them losing, believe it or not. I do have them losing to Kentucky. Per my previous video, I do think Kentucky is going to get the win over South Carolina, even at South Carolina. I do think South Carolina beats Florida. I'm not really so certain. I know Florida's got a lot of talent, but I'm just not so certain on who that talent is at the moment. And this will be mid-season. I think this is kind of one of those gotcha games. I'm kind of looking at it like a coin flip game. And you've talked about that. So give me South Carolina over Florida. But I think that's
right.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. We've got the same record at this point in the season with losses to different teams, wins against different teams. Do you think, with your prediction here, Shane Beamer is fired at this point in the season? Or because he gets to win against Florida?
If he lost Mississippi State, Alabama, Kentucky, and started out 0-3 in the SEC, yeah. Yeah. So that's a good point. Does the team play harder for the interim coach against Florida? I don't know. Whatever. But for the sake of my preseason predictions, we're going to say yes. As long as we were at the first game after they fact. Yes.
But that's the hard part. So if they fire him during the bye week, well, guess what? The bye week is going to be before they play Tennessee.
And that's why it's very realistic that he could be fired that week. Like, my prediction could be wrong, and they end up losing to Florida, and then, boom, Beamer's fired, and then they come out and they get that upset win against Tennessee. I could see that. Josh Heupel has been known, just like Butch Jones has been known, to lose that game that you're just not supposed to lose. Yeah. Could it be South Carolina? It is on the road. For the sake of my prediction and the fact that I'm a massive Tennessee fan, no. I don't want to even think about that, especially after what happened in the past. They're at Oklahoma. What? Oh, I did that wrong. Thank you. I was like, whoa. I looked at that thinking Tennessee's getting the dub, so I clicked the dub, and then I realized that this is South Carolina's prediction. Thank you. They're at Oklahoma. I think they lose that game too. And then they host A&M. But I don't see a world where they beat A&M unless A&M just isn't what they're supposed to be this year.
Yep.
And so I do have them losing to A&M. And then at Arkansas, again, that spot is just nasty. I don't think they're going to get it done. I've already said it in the Arkansas prediction that they don't. So, obviously, they're losing to Georgia. But then I do have an upset win to finish the year.
Wow.
To beat Clemson And that's not even to be different from you. I just think South Carolina's kind of owned Clemson in a way. Now I think they did lose to Clemson not too long ago.
They
Was
lost
it
to
last year?
them last year.
Yep. But the previous like 2 or 3 years they had beaten Clemson.
Yeah.
So unless Clemson's just out to be that team that we thought they were supposed to be last year, I think South Carolina somehow pulls it away in the rivalry game, and they end up finishing 4-8. I've got the worst case being 3-9. I still think they find a way to win 3 games regardless. And then my best case is I'm gonna say 6-6. Is my best case. Yeah, I think they may get wins over Mississippi State, Kentucky, and Arkansas. So I mean, I guess that would be 7. But if they get those wins, I'm not so sure they beat Clemson. And I know that sounds dumb, but I just don't think them. I don't know. Like I feel like if they've lost 5 in a row, they're going to try to. In my opinion, if I'm a player on the team, especially a senior, I don't want to end on 6 straight losses, especially to our rival.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give a little bit of extra, even though I should have been giving that the entire season. But I don't know. I think 6-6 really is the best case for South Carolina.
6-6. Wow. So I had a very wide range there, and I figured with the way that you were talking, that you might as well. But
I just don't see them being. I'm not a believer in Beamer. He's got some dogs.
I'm not either.
He's got one of the best quarterbacks, one of the best defensive players, defensive edges. He's got one of the best running back. Is it a running back or is it a wide receiver? He's got one of the best of like 3 different positions in the SEC.
Yeah.
Quarterback's kind of like maybe top 5, top 7, but like either way, like Lenore Sellers should be a dog this year. But like I just don't know if they're going to be able to put it all together. I really don't. So. Not a big Beamer believer. I don't have that Beamer fever, if you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not turning my swag on, and I'm joking. I'm out of things to say. I really don't know. But I do think he gets fired.
Yeah, I also think
he's
fired.
One of my biggest hot seat coaches going into the year.
Oh, yeah, 100%.